Hey, what's going on? Welcome to another After Dark with Shawn Cornelius. I am your host, the romantic funny man, Shawn Cornelius, and I am in my usual seat sitting here on BronxNet. I want to thank the people at BronxNet for airing this show, and you can check us out. Hopefully, you're watching either on BronxNet TV, Channel 68, or you're watching on Fios 2134, or you're watching on BronxNet.org. So, thank you so much if you've been tuning in, if you're a regular guest, and you hear a lot of stuff going on. They're working out in the street, so hopefully that you'll be able to ignore what they're doing out there, and you'll focus on what's going on here. Because I have a fabulous guest on the show today. I actually met this young lady doing stand-up comedy, but she's got so much. I can't even fill a show up. I really can't even do a show right now with an hour with all the things that she's done. So she's got a whole lot of stuff. And then we're going to make sure that she pronounces her last name correctly because she's got such a fantastic professional name. So Michelle, she's got so much. She's a mother. She's a life coach. She's a career coach. She's a wife. She's got so much happening. She's got 25 years of positions in New York City. I read over her resume. Her resume was longer than the show. I want to tell you guys that right now. I can't even do the show if you want me to read her resume. But she's got her degrees and she's got all the things, but you know how I do. I basically let the guests come on and talk about themselves. This show, I could speak in different languages if I wanted to, and she would understand Spanish. She would understand Brazilian. She would understand Portuguese. And she also, we can fight a little bit. We can do some taekwondo, some black belt stuff. I didn't go as far as the black belt. I got my green belt. That's as far as I went. But she's a stand-up comic, and she put me on in Brooklyn, and we've been cool ever since doing our thing. But she's traveled the world. She's done so much, and she can come on and talk to us. And she's sitting back there laughing and giggling. But she sent me this bio today to read. I'm like, I can't read all this. This has got too much stuff in it. This has got actually this woman. I don't even know why she's doing this show. I know why she's doing it, but I'm just saying she should be on some kind of network or doing some other kind of things that she does well. But we're gonna have her come on and talk to us, and we'll have some fun with her. And then she'll explain that black belt thing and all those languages and everything else. So, Michelle, please welcome to the show. We welcome you to the show. You're coming in, and you're in right about now. Clark, how do you pronounce your? Because I want to pronounce your last name correctly.
Oh, Shawn, thank you so much for having me in After Dark. It's Michele Clarke-Ceres, like
Series, I
World
knew that.
Series, like
I
World
knew that.
Series, right?
Series, yeah, Michelle Clark series. I knew that. but I appreciate you coming on and doing this for me. You've got an extensive resume. Your background is a whole bunch. Like I said, if I got tired reading it, to be honest with you. You
you got tired reading it, and you can imagine going through it, right?
yeah, so you can bring up some of the stuff that you want to bring up, but there's some points that I gathered that I wanted to talk about in this first half hour that we have you. And thank you so much for taking the time out to come because I did a show that you had, and
Mhm.
it was fantastic. It was great. It was a great opportunity.
Yeah, we
But
have
let's
fun.
start. Let's start. Let's go back. Let's go back to Michelle, where you were just starting doing what you're doing. Tell the
Mhm.
people where you're from. If you want to tell them your age, you could tell them your age. Talk about your family. Let's find out a little bit about Michelle.
Thanks, Shawn. It's so nice to hear your introduction. Well, I was born and raised in New York City in Washington Heights.
Okay.
My
All
parents
right.
came over in the late 60s. Um, they had me. They got divorced. My mom raised me on her own along with my mother's side of the family. I grew up with some very strong, powerful women who supported me every step of the way. I went to a state
Okay.
university near Buffalo. I lived in Spain, came back, and then I started my career in politics. I worked for a city council member, then a state senator. Then I went to work for the federal government. I went to work for another country. And then I went into international education. Now I have my own company, World Series. I'm an executive career coach. but I also have been fortunate to pursue my creator side. And that's where you come in, Shawn, because we've acted and performed together.
Yes, we have. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we've done some things together, and that was great. That was a great time. But
Yeah.
you mentioned the World Series Incorporated, where you're the creator and one of the instructors. But I actually wrote that down, so that's
Mm-hmm.
kind of cool. And
Mm.
we didn't get together on that. So, but you have the soft skill communication, the Global Advocate Career podcast. You
Mm-hmm.
got so much. Where did you decide, and when did you decide that you wanted to do those kind of things? Because the comedy, like I tell people all the time, you make a choice. Sometimes it's number one, sometimes it's number two. It wasn't number one for you. Like you said,
No,
you did a whole bunch of other stuff prior to.
sure.
When did you decide you wanted to? What got you into all of that?
Yeah, so I have been fortunate to have some fantastic jobs, but along with that comes a lot of stress, right? So in one of my positions, I won't say with whom, I was really stressed out. So I was like, look, there's two ways that this can go. This can either go where I'm in the hospital or, with stress, or I can really take the opportunity and create, make it funny, tell a story. And I didn't talk about my boss or anything like that. That's a really good way to destroy your career, I think.
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
you know,
Yeah,
but I ended up talking about my dad, and he ended up being a lot of good material for me. And so I started performing, and then I started answering calls for acting. And
right,
you and I met doing some off Broadway stuff.
right, exactly. Yes,
Oh, it's so off. Whatever. Anyway, so you
yeah,
but it was great. It was great. It was good to work with local companies and understand what acting is really all about. I'm still friends with folks that we performed with. Um
hmm,
it was a way to get, exposure. I chose another route. I prefer commercials. I prefer industrials. Um but no regrets, Shawn. And my thing is this: you should be able to do anything you want to do. Just because you have a specific career doesn't mean you can't pursue other interests.
right, right. And that's what you did by looking through your resume, and what before I knew you, which I knew you prior to doing the show.
Yeah.
But before I knew it was just I thought you were just a comedian. But you've done so much where you've done international stuff.
Hmm.
You went overseas to
Hmm.
find some things out, and you've got like 25 years plus of positions in New York. So you've done a lot of work. Um, One thing I wanted to ask you about was the navigating the new normal in the workplace. You did that as well, but you were not the focal point. You were a co.
Right. So I decided, with World Series, the company that my husband and I put together, um, I decided to focus on career development and became a career coach. Now I'm an executive career coach. And I wanted to talk to folks about their careers. I wanted to interview them about what they're doing. And so I created the Global Advocate Career Podcast. And in that
Hmm.
podcast, for the past 2.5 years,
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. That just sounded so good. Can you say it
oh,
again and
oh,
then go into it?
sure. Yeah, yeah. The Global Advocate Career Podcast.
That's beautiful. Go ahead, Nay. I'm sorry. Go
I just decided to do it because I just, I wanted to talk to folks about their career. It's as simple as that. And so, um, in that space, I also wanted to speak to recruiters from around the world to ask them what uh, the world looked like during the heart of the pandemic, in the beginning and in the middle of it. So that's when I created Navigating the New Normal in the workplace, and then I decided to create Navigating the New Normal in the international workplace. So I had the opportunity to speak to some interesting folks around the world, obviously all virtual, from Japan to South Africa, about what the workplace looks like. And it was very interesting.
Right, and obviously from looking behind you, you like plants, huh? Is that you or is that your
Yes.
is that you or your husband?
Oh, okay. So this is my son, right? He's 16 now.
Yeah,
This is my husband and I, right? That's Jesus Christ, because you always got to have God behind you and the
got
sides of
to.
you in front of you, okay?
Right.
And I got a lot of plants. Yeah, I love plants. Plants really make a day. They make a room. They make a space, and they help me breathe better. So, come on, you gotta love a plant. You gotta love a good plant.
I love a plant, but okay, that's why I wanted some people just have them around because they look good. Some people have them around for the health reason. And you like you have them both. It's
Both,
both ways.
both,
Okay,
and they're real. And they're real. I'm just wanted to say, my rubber plant over here, there,
okay.
real. All of them are real. You should come over and check them out.
Well, I'm definitely now that I got that invitation, I'm going to make sure because it's on tape, so people know what's happening. You know, they can hold you to it and come right back to it. So that's
Mhm.
fantastic. So you're doing all of this in the span of doing your career, being a mother and being a wife, and you're going for your. It's always good to see anybody doing it. It's good. It's great to see a woman doing it. It's great,
Thank you.
but you I want to get this good stuff out the way. You have a bachelor's.
Mhm.
uh
Mhm.
you also have an advanced diploma in
Mhm.
coaching.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have your
Mhm.
New York State real estate license.
Yeah, I let that expire. I love real estate in terms of
Hmm.
buying property, but selling it, no. So I decided to I wanted to give it a try, but I decided to have other pursuits. But I'm glad I did it, and I would recommend anyone who wants to buy property or obviously sell it. You have to have your license. But
Hmm.
buying it, take a course as if you wanted to be a real estate agent, so that way you know all the nuances. Because I learned lessons when we first purchased, and that would never happen again if I had was more informed. So, you know,
Yeah, and okay, and you love New York City. This
I
is this is home.
love
This is
New York
home.
City.
But you travel. Where else have you traveled? Because like I said, I know you've traveled outside of the United States. Where have you traveled?
Yeah, well, my family. I have family in Panama, so I traveled a lot there. I've been we traveled to Brazil quite a bit, right? Because we have friends and family down there. Um, and Rudy is British. You've met Rudy, so
Yes.
his family's over in the UK. We actually just came back from Germany, so we do get. And this was a few months ago. This was back in November. Traveling is really important to me, so it's imperative. And I've been fortunate that my mom, when I was younger, used to send me away for the summers to visit my cousins.
Right.
So it's
Right.
it's really important, and now more than ever, I think it's putting the pandemic aside. I think
Hmm.
it's even easier to travel. So
Right. Because yeah, there's so much. Well, the funding, number one, it's cheaper
yes.
to travel than go places if you want to take the chance of getting sick or not getting sick or whatever. However,
Hmm.
however you're living your life.
Yeah, right.
Um, but you are chief. When I say chief of staff, when I say
Hmm.
deputy chief of protocols, does that sound familiar to you?
Yeah.
Those,
In government, I've held several roles, and specifically on the federal level, I worked for the U.S. Department of State for almost 6 years, and I built my way up to being deputy chief of protocol, which was a very, very exciting role, very challenging as well. But I got a chance to meet a lot of heads of government, worked in several administrations. I was actually working under the Bush administration. Actually, my second day at work was 9/11. So
mm,
you can
mm,
imagine,
wow.
all the things that came
Okay.
along with that. But yeah, you know, um,
Give us something, but it's incredible. Uh, Something that you learn because I know you speak several different languages. You
mhm.
say something quickly in Spanish, and then tell us what you said.
Ay, Shawn, ¿qué exactamente quiere que yo digo?
It
You
sounds fun.
come on, Shawn. You live in the Bronx, man. You're probably more fluent than me.
Yeah, I see. I don't know. I know the side street, the corner, the Spanish. I don't know the regular Spanish. I know that. Yeah. So what did you say?
I said, Shawn, what do you want me to talk about?
Okay, let's say something in Brazilian.
In Portuguese, you want me to say something in Portuguese? Portuguese,
Yeah,
bom,
Portuguese.
que exatamente você quer que eu falo? Eu pode falar de qualquer coisa. Um,
Okay.
então,
All right. What did you say?
I said, what exactly do you want me to talk about? I can talk about anything.
Okay, so you have some knowledge of French. What is it, Catalanian or
Oh
Catalan?
yeah, so I make it very clear in my bio and my stuff that I do understand French and read it. Speaking it, no papa. And in terms of Catalan, I understand it, but I'm gonna veer myself away from performing. I could say a few words like "me agrada muito seu país" and all that stuff, but this is basic stuff.
Well, what about Je m'appelle in
Oh well,
French?
there you go. There you
I,
go. Yes,
I
yes.
took a
Oh, you.
French
Oh,
class. I
oh,
took a,
I see.
but that's all. That's all. Don't ask me to say nothing else. Don't
It's
ask me-
important to know languages because,
Yes, it is.
and because I don't want anybody talking about me behind my back if I could help it.
Right, right. But okay, so you know how many? What's the number of different languages you know fluently?
Fluently, I would say 3, and I would say a working knowledge of 2 others. And my goal is to actually learn German. I really wanted to learn German. Um, and who knows? Who knows? I'm actually, I traveled to Ghana last year. I'm going back this year, so I'm actually
Okay.
learning Tree and Ga. Those are 2 of the languages they speak in Ghana. So it never stops. There are hundreds in the world. So
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
mhm.
Oh, and so all right, so I was on the show. You have a
Yes,
first
thank
of
you for
all,
being on the show, Shawn.
no, thank you. I had a wonderful time with the other guests and just hanging out and sitting there, and
Yeah.
you offered that to me when I was getting myself together and taking care of business. How
Yes.
long have you been doing that show?
So this will be going on year 3. I'll tell you, I took a break for a minute for a few months because I felt that work last year very blessed, but it was very busy, and I felt like let me just take a moment. And so I have done some interviews for my 4th season that'll be up shortly. So it's actually going on 3 years, and as you know, Shawn, uh, producing podcasts is a lot of work, a lot of
Yes,
work.
yes. Hmm.
So, I've been doing it for 3 years. I've got some other podcasts in my mind to do. I love to talk. I want to find some different topics to discuss. So let's see, Shawn. Like I said, it's a lot of work, but we're creative. So if we're not
Yes,
creating stuff, we're not living.
right, right. You got to be doing. You got to be
We
doing
got to be doing
something.
something.
It,
Yeah,
it, it doesn't matter what. It's something because
exactly.
something turns into something
Yes.
if you continue with it. Um,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and so you did that show. Um, it's the pandemic now. It's
Mm-hmm.
2022 now.
Yeah.
Um, we don't even know. We don't know when it's going to stop. We don't know if it's going to stop. But obviously we're adjusting. We're
Yes.
people of nature who adjust.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing? What is your family doing um, to get accustomed to what's going on around the world right now? Because the world is going on. It's
Yeah.
not like it stopped. Oh my God! All of a sudden, here's a pandemic.
Yeah.
Let's stop crime. Let's
Yeah.
stop this. Let's stop. No,
Exactly.
it's still continuing, and now it's even worse because of situations where people have to, with finances and things on
Yeah.
that level. What is
Mm-hmm.
your family doing to keep straight or keep the norm?
Yeah, I mean, that's a really good question. I would say when the pandemic first started, it was a real big adjustment socially, emotionally, um, to be confronted with having to stay home and not go out as much as we are used to. We're very active. That was a challenge. Um, also, so I think once we accepted that, I think it was really working with what you have, and we're fortunate that we were able to uh, well, our son took his classes from home.
Hmm.
Rudy was able to work from home. I was able to work from home. So we adjusted relatively well.
Right.
I think the most important thing is faith, having faith that as you're going through challenges, that God is there to help. And I'm saying this for myself. There's no question that I would not have been able to succeed or to do well if I did not have my faith
Right.
and pray every day. So, you know, that to me is more important than any vaccination. But we are all vaccinated.
That was
Okay.
going to be my next
I
question
was
since
just
you brought
about
it
to
up.
say, yeah,
Yeah.
we not playing with that because we won't be able to travel or go to places if we weren't vaccinated.
Right. Right.
You got to do it. You got to protect yourselves.
Yeah.
So, by adjusting, Shawn, accepting the new reality, by also embracing my creative side.
Hmm.
I've been extremely creative these last few years, and I wouldn't change it for the world. So it's working with what you have, and that's what I tell my clients. Right,
Right.
work with what you have.
Right. Right. Um, doing that's fantastic because that's basically what we all have to do. We
Yep.
all have to jump in because even bouncing around, certain things I see are still open, certain things are closed.
Yes.
Certain people have jumped and done. Even in our career, in my career is
Hmm.
entertainment.
Yes.
And I see a lot of comedians. It's not like it was, but people are still trying to do what they do. Let's just jump into that comedy side of you and how we met.
Yeah.
um, Doing stand-up comedy is a way of releasing because you're
Yes.
talking about your tensions, you're talking about your frustrations, you're talking about the good things and the ugly things if you choose to, whatever you
Hmm.
want to talk about. What got you into doing stand-up comedy?
Yeah. So, I took like I mentioned before, right? I took an experiences that I had in the workplace and decided to either make sure it worked for me from an energy perspective or and not absorb me to the point where you know I'd be totally stressed out. So it was a great release. I think one of the reasons why I also want to do it is because it was always, it's so funny. I told one of my former bosses, "Hey, I'm doing stand up. You got to perform. You got to see me perform." And the person was like, "You, Michelle, you've always been a comedian." And I'm like, "Oh, all
Right,
right."
right,
So it's always been in me. I think if you ask my son or my husband, um, I'm performing every day at home. So
right, right,
it's really something, as you know, um, it's in you, and it's just waiting to come out and express itself. But it's grueling, Shawn. I remember this was obviously pre-pandemic. Getting on the train for an 11 o'clock set. You know, I
yeah,
remember going to see you perform at Dangerfields and other
mhm,
places. Getting home 2 in the morning on the train because you think
yeah,
about it. Even if you got, well, for me, because you were on another level, but even if
yeah,
you got $20 for your performance, it's twice as much to take a cab home. So I had to take the train, right? When you're doing the
right,
numbers, doing your ROI, you're like, okay, if I take a cab, I just kind of didn't make any money off of this event. So that's what made me do the
right.
Laugh Spot.
Okay,
The Laugh Spot, which was the comedy club that I did on Thursdays, for a year, which you performed in. I was like, you know what? Instead of me going to a comedy club and performing, I'm just going to bring everyone to me and have folks perform and have it work. It was in the
right.
same borough that I lived in Brooklyn. And so I think at the end of the day, it was about me wanting to have fun, laugh, and meet folks that had the same idea, just like yourself.
Yeah, it's a rough game. It's a hard game once until you get into it, and even
Hmm.
once you get into it, I guess it's still some on some levels depending on you. But you got more people working with you.
Yeah.
Uh, so are you still doing stand up today? I mean, I know it's hard to do it, but you get out and it seems like what you have going on your other side is a little bit more stable than doing stand-up comedy.
Yeah, so I haven't performed on stage in a while. What I will say is that I do more acting now, and actually, I've done some Instagram commercials. They haven't come out yet, um, but I've also done extra work. Like I was on In the Heights, which was a lot of fun. It was great. It made sense. I grew up in the Washington Heights, so I should be in the movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, but there's actually a few local comedy clubs here that I want to check out. I'm in Connecticut now, so I think that I feel like I may give it a try
Okay.
because it's something that I enjoy, but I enjoy acting and producing and writing more. I want to do more of
Okay.
that.
All right. All right. That sounds good because that's what it does sometimes. Sometimes you get into the performance side and then you fall into the creative side
There
of
you
writing
go.
or the producing and all those kind of things. So I totally get you. I totally understand.
Hmm.
Now, really quickly, with this taekwondo thing, I know why I did it to stay in shape and do all whatever. And I went to the green belt, and I'm a little older. Get myself. Then I started hurting. Started, whatever. You're a first degree black belt in taekwondo. When do you use it? Do you use it? Do you still practice it?
Okay, so I'll tell you why I got into it because Rudy and I enrolled our son, and in the beginning he wasn't really warm and fuzzy about it, and then it made me realize that well, I think if we start doing it, it's going to convince him how important it is, and we really
Right.
wanted,
Right.
we felt that it was a great way to focus and just kind of feel empowered to defend yourself because you know you can do it. And so when we started doing it, it just became contagious. They went on to become second degrees. I stuck with my first degree and left it at that. I I don't practice martial arts currently because we're still kind of looking for another dojang and we're looking to see if we want to still do taekwondo. But I will tell you that when needed, I'll I'll protect you, Shawn. I got you. I got you.
Well, I appreciate that very much. So,
Don't mention it.
all
I
right. So
got you, Shawn.
you're just gonna stick with your first degree,
Yeah, man,
which is
for
fine.
now.
Man,
Who
you're a
knows?
black belt. You're a black belt. It doesn't make any
I'm
difference.
black all day long, Shawn.
You're
Every
black
day, all
all
day.
day long, every day, whatever color belt you put on.
I'm still black. So it's just it feels good, right, Shawn? As a
It
green
does.
belt, when you start breaking those boards and when you start, doing those kicks, you feel empowered, and that's exactly what it did for me. And I got my black belt in my 40s, so anyone can do it. I don't want to hear about I'm too old.
Yeah,
This
I believe I did. I did as well. I started when I started. I didn't do karate or any of that stuff
mm,
until my 40s, and
there
I
you
got into
go.
that level. So yeah, when you do it and you leave it that first day, you're like, oh wow, I can do this. You
That's
know what I
right.
mean? And
That's exactly right.
you either keep going or you just go. I just wanted to do it just to know if I could do it. But
That's
I,
right.
I kept going to get my little belt and whatever the
You
situation
can
is.
still do it, Shawn. You can still do it.
Yeah,
Still
yeah.
do it.
Yeah, it's good. The exercise is good for you,
Hmm.
and whatever works out. So, no, that's fantastic. Do me a favor. Um, could you leave your information or give your information out to folks that would like to get in contact with you about whether it's the governmental stuff you did, whether whatever we talked about, whether it's the black belt, the karate, or whatever. Just leave your information for them. Your website.
Sure. Sure. I would say the best way to reach out to me is through my Instagram. It's Clarke-Ceres. So it's at Clarke-Ceres, ClarkeCeres. Send me a message and I'll respond. Just because I haven't posted recently doesn't mean I'm not active. I think everyone should take a mental break every now and then from social media. So that's what I did.
Yeah, and you're still doing well, and you're somebody that I don't I say it when I bring because I only bring people on who I can look at and go, yo, okay, there's a piece of them that I need. You know what I mean? And
Thank you, Shawn.
I'm always appreciative of what you've done on my level of bringing me to your spot in Brooklyn, you know, because you don't have to do that.
Thank
So
you, Shawn. It was fun, man. We had a lot of fun. I'm so glad we met. I'm so glad we're in touch. I'm so proud of you with what you're doing. So I was very honored that you came on the show to support the Global Advocate Career Podcast. It's my pleasure to support your show in any way that I can. And keep it up, Shawn. Keep it up.
yeah, I'm definitely gonna do that. I appreciate the words and the prayers. So here's what I'm gonna do.
Mhm.
You love me, and that was now. I don't know if you're gonna love me after the second half. So
Uh-oh.
maybe we'll see what happens because you know most people do. Most people still do care, but we'll see what happens in our second half if you stick around. I'm gonna take a short break. Will you stick around?
I'll stick around, and I don't have to answer any questions I don't want to answer.
There you go. You don't have to answer anything, but I'm going to make sure you answer every single one. Here on After Dark with Shawn Cornelius, your special guest, Michele Clarke-Ceres, and we'll be right back with more as soon as we take this break.
All right.
I'm Terrence Weatherspoon reporting live for the No News Network. Here's the report. There is no news. Everybody on Facebook has it. That's the report. I'm Terrence Weatherspoon live for the No News Network. See you next time. Maybe.
Hey, it's Bethany Brown. I played Null or Janet Petty in The Flash. Shawn Cornelius, your new movement, Enough is Enough? Phenomenal. Man, everybody let your voice be heard and go support Shawn's campaign, Enough is Enough. It's time. Bye. As I walk through
my Hello, I'm Mocha Black, and I'd like to take a minute of your time to talk to you about something that's very near and dear to my heart. Breast cancer awareness. Breast cancer affects millions of women around the globe daily. I could give you more statistics, but that's not what this message is about. This is a support message. So please, ladies, take care of yourselves, get your mammograms and regular checkups. Breast cancer has affected me personally because I lost my mom 15 years ago to breast cancer. So in memory of her and all the ones that have lost the battle, if you please go to my website, www.mochablack.net, and purchase any pink t-shirt, I will donate proceeds to breast cancer awareness and research. Again, we love you all. God bless you. I'm Mocha Black, and I care.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is comedian Tony Tone, and you're watching After Dark with the host with the most, Shawn Cornelius. My man.
And we are back. We're back after dark with Shawn Cornelius and my very special guest, Michele Clarke-Ceres. Did you enjoy some of those?
I did, man, and I loved your hair in that Mocha Black commercial.
That was Mocha Black. That wasn't me. That was Mocha Black. So
sorry, my bad.
Don't give away all the secrets. Yeah, it's good. So we're in the second half of the show, and we made it through the first half of the show, which is fantastic. Always do. Do me a favor. Could you please go back and grab your magical powers and say abracadabra for me, please?
Me?
Yeah, you.
Abracadabra?
Oh,
all right.
There we go. We are in the love zone. We are in the love zone right now, which means we are going to talk about some things and find out a little bit more, a little deeper about Miss Clarke-Ceres and see exactly where she's
Oh
coming
boy.
from. So let's get started. You ready?
I think I am, Shawn. Yeah.
All right, let's go. Can you give me your definition of love? The definition of love.
Oof. Um, love is the encompassing energy that you can feel for someone, and it's it's everything. It's just it envelops you, and you just want to surround that person with it, kisses and hugs and everything.
Okay. Now remember, all these answers in this app, these are you. This is you. So whatever you speak on is fine.
Okay.
Oh, all right. So give me your definition of romance. What is Michelle's definition of romance?
Well, romance is usually what you can demonstrate to the person that you care a lot about and love, and vice versa. It's also what I guess people see. Oh, that couple is very romantic. Oh, that's a very romantic scene. So it's something that reflects how you feel for someone and the gestures that you make, whether it's just the two of you or whether it's to the outside world, right?
Okay. All right. Can you give me an example, or give me an example of your favorite date? Now, it's something you'll never forget, and obviously, it's with your husband.
Yes. Yes.
let us give us, for those that have not experienced something special like that.
Oh.
Give us something special that you.
Oh man, it was our first date. We went to a Japanese restaurant, and he it was so nice. First of all, he's British, and it was about to rain, so he had his umbrella, and the long umbrella, it looks like a cane.
Mm-hmm.
And so we went to the place and had food. I did most of the talking and most of the eating. I ate all my food and his food. And then we went into a cab, and then I sat on his umbrella and broke it. So, and that was so romantic.
That's romantic to you.
Can't make that up. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry.
And he said, he probably said, "No, it's okay. It's all right.
He said, that's quite all right. That's quite all right.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Let's say you're walking down the street and you kick a can out the way to get it off the street because you like to keep the street clean. Out comes me as a genie. I'm working on my 3 wishes, but I got one right now that I can give you that involves love. What's the one wish you're going to ask me for that involves love?
Oh, wow. That certain members of my family will reconcile. That's the wish. That's the wish that I have.
It's a beautiful one. Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
Well, that's one thing that makes you special because of what you said. What's something that makes Michelle unique? What is it about you that is lovely enough that someone would say, "I'm gonna put her in the unique category"?
You know what? I'm gonna say it's my humor. I think
Hmm.
I think the things that make me laugh or make other people laugh, that's just unique to me. My expressions on my face, whether I'm not too impressed or whether I'm shocked. So I'm gonna say it's my humor. I think it's kind of what helped us meet, Shawn, right? Our humor.
Yeah. Okay. That's cool. All right. On a scale of 1 to 10, and 10 not necessarily being the highest, you can go to 2,000, 3,000, whatever. Where would you put yourself on the scale of love? Yeah.
In what way, Shawn? What?
Look, just for the, I always have most of the problem with the women on this show, and I figured that was coming. But it's just really however you want.
What do you mean?
But as an overall individual of love, where would you put yourself? Okay, let me give you an example. Let me give you an example. Let's just say I would give myself a 7 or 8. So I'm too short of a 10. And you might ask why, but I give myself a 7, and I'm a loving type of person. So where would you put yourself on a scale of 1 to 10?
Okay. I'm gonna put myself as a 7.5 because a 7.5.
Well, okay, without an explanation.
I feel like I can speak to anyone, and so I'm very congenial. I can speak to anyone, and I love pretty much anyone in different ways. I think as I've gotten older, I've come to recognize that. So whereas I'd love for it to be a 10, sometimes it has to be a 7.5.
Okay. No, that's honest. That's honesty. Whatever is honest works out. And you've been married. How long have you been married?
It's almost 21 years.
Okay, so basically a lot of these answers might come from being married, which is
No,
fine.
it's in general because look, love is such a general word. It's a general word. It can be applied to your parents, to your relatives, to your friends, obviously to your significant other, your spouse, to your child. So I'm thinking about the whole picture.
All right. Well, when I want to specifically talk about love, that means husband and wife love.
Okay.
Look at the zone you're in. You're in the love zone.
Love zone. I'm Billy Ocean and I are quite in sync. Okay.
Yeah. So we're making it.
You're trying to get in my business.
I'm trying to make sure you don't get in trouble. I'm just trying to make sure you don't get in trouble. So that's why you said what you said, which is
in a court of law.
Okay, so let's talk about your husband then. This next question is about the 3 things that attract you to your husband.
Oh my goodness, his skin tone, his intelligence, and his patience. His patience.
Okay, you want to say patience one more time? Because those guys from across the pond, they do it. It depends on how long they lived over here. Do have a little bit more patience than your American brothers do. So
you said it, not me.
Yeah, I'll say that, and I just totally agree. What are 3 things that are unattractive about your husband, if you would like to say? Now it's either your husband or men, and we know that he's a man, and he's included in what you say. But let's just say men, so I'll keep you safe.
Yeah, so I would never, ever say anything about my husband in a public forum like this. But I will say that in general, well, I certainly think anyone who's narrow-minded and chauvinistic is not attractive. I don't think that's like a complete turnoff. If you think that I'm limited because I'm a woman, well, you're whack.
Right.
Someone who doesn't take care of themselves, right? That's something that it's unfortunate. So you want someone to take care of themselves. So someone doesn't take care of themselves, I guess.
Okay, I'll take that. Yeah.
Lack of compassion, I think. If you're just downright mean, that's going to manifest in different ways. And who wants that? So you certainly don't want that in any individual. But if you leverage that to have power over other people, I don't think that's a very nice trait.
Sure. No, I totally understand. So let's go with a female. Let's see how honest you are about your same sex. 3 beautiful things about a woman. 3 beautiful things about a woman.
Well, maternal. For women who I identify as a woman, so I would say that for me, being maternal is something it's just so special. Maternal love.
Okay.
Sisterhood. I think being able to speak to another woman and they understand the experiences. So being understanding and sisterly. And I would say beauty, right? We're just so many different ways of demonstrating beauty, whether it's yellow hair, blonde hair, braids, weaves, whatever. Like we're so diverse. So the diversity.
Are you talking about physical beauty?
Yeah. I mean, yes.
Okay.
Did I
All
answer
right.
that question? I feel like I didn't.
Yes, you
answer
did.
I did. Okay.
You did. Now, the ugliness, the three top uglies about a woman.
Yeah. So this is I don't, Shawn. This is it's like generalizing. I'm gonna say the 3 traits that I feel are just not good traits, right? I think.
Sure. Whatever you feel.
Ooh. Just backstabbing, right? Anyone who's like a backstabber, who doesn't, who's not supportive. 2, viewing someone in a competitive way. Not embracing, not viewing someone in a competitive way. And 3, not being truthful. If I see someone or sister that's beautiful, I'll say it. You look lovely today. I say it to strangers all the time. I think that's better than giving someone a side eye and not being embracing. So I think those are the, I'll stick to that.
Because what you're saying really can go to male traits as well, but more of what females do, because males do that too, and females do what males do. It's a mixture. But what you're saying is right. That's why I said there's a stronger level of females that do this than the stronger level of males that do this, and we know that it's separated. Like females do this, males do that. So you're moving along fine.
I think. Look, excuse me. For all intents and purposes, I'm going on my own experiences, right? So, excuse me. I'm going on what I've experienced that wasn't particularly nice, and that's how life is. So I'm going on my own experience. I'm not speaking for anyone else.
Yeah. Good. That's very good, because you're the only one sitting in that chair that I'm looking at talking to. So
exactly. Well, and my plants.
And your plants. you would be wrong if you were talking to someone else. Exactly. You can't talk for Christ, because we already know what he did. So you got give me 5 things that you love about the world. 5 things that you love about the world.
Wow. Well, how predictive, how every morning you're going to wake up and hear the birds sing. So it's sort of nature. So I'm going to say nature. It's something very soothing to hear the birds, to hear the animals. It's very soothing. Number 2, the different topography. I can go to one country and appreciate the mountains, go to another one and appreciate the beach. 3, the cities. Same thing. You go to different cities. Each city has a history and a story.
Right.
4, food. I'm a big foodie, so I love having different meals according to the geography it pertains to. So I love Japanese food. I love eating Mexican food. I love West Indian food. So the diversity of food and the origins. I may have said this, but I'll be a little bit more specific in terms of the age of the earth that we're in. There's so much history that still we're just learning now. I'm addicted to certain YouTube channels that talk about the history and what we're uncovering and things that are coming up from, the icebergs melting. And, there's so much history that we still yet do not know about centuries and centuries and millennia ago. So I think it's always finding something new out about, for example, the Egyptians or the civilization. So history is
okay.
Those are the 5 things.
Okay, all right, that sounds cool. All right, give me you got respect, you got honesty, and you got trust. Respect, honesty, and trust. For this show, you get to take away one of those, and you'll be all right in your relationship. Which one are you taking away from if I give you respect, honesty, and trust?
That's hard.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's hard. Honesty.
Okay. Any particular reason why? I'll give you a chance. You can answer that one more.
So, when you're in a relationship with someone, if there's mutual respect, it shows. It shows with the person themselves and in the relationship. Trusting someone knows you can go camping with someone in the middle of a mountain range and know that you're not going to get killed and that your insurance is going to get. If I dye my hair green and it doesn't look right, and you say you look beautiful, maybe you're not being terribly honest, but I'll take it. So I think out of there's and it's happened. I've had green hair, and my husband has told me he still loves me. So there
because you've already done it, though. You've already done it green. It's already
by
done
accident, yes.
Oh, okay.
I'll
so
never forget
it. So that's a message. All right, cool. Not a problem.
Sea green at that.
Sea green.
Don't go to Dwayne Reed and buy hair color. Okay, just don't do that.
Yeah, I won't even do that. If you look at the screen right now, you'll see we're at our favorite screen, which means we're almost at the end of our show.
Oh.
And basically, what I want to do now is just talk to you about your favorite things, your 7 favorites. Maybe we might do an extra 1 or 2, but we're almost at the end of the show, and I wanted to find out. So basically, this is the easy part. All you have to do is just tell us what's happening, and we'll learn a little bit more about Michele. So, are you down? You ready?
Sure.
Okay. Let's start with your favorite food.
Japanese, hands down.
Japanese food.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's go to your favorite book.
My favorite book is the Bible. I know people are gonna be like, "Oh man, come on!" No.
There's some people that have said the Bible. What is your reasoning for it being your favorite book?
It's never wrong. It's never wrong.
Okay.
It's a great source of inspiration, and it's something that's very important in my life. So, the Bible.
Okay, the Bible. Let's go with your favorite movie.
Any James Bond film and any Michael Mann film, specifically Heat with Robert De Niro and Al Pacino.
Very good movies.
Have you seen Heat? Have you seen Heat?
Yes, I have. Yes, I have.
So you know exactly what I'm talking about.
More than once.
No, I've seen it probably more than you.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you have. I'm sure. I'm sure you have. Your favorite flower. Yeah, favorite flower.
Yeah, all right. It's a toss up between the rose and the chrysanthemum. I'm gonna go with the chrysanthemum because the chrysanthemum was my wedding flower.
Oh, okay, nice, sweet.
Yeah.
Okay, favorite drink, non-alcoholic and alcoholic.
Okay, let's go with the alcoholic because that's easier. I'm going to say the caipirinha. It's a Brazilian drink with lime, sugar, and Brazilian rum and ice. I highly recommend.
Okay.
Non-alcoholic, iced tea. Like iced tea, like Snapple iced
sugar,
tea.
Okay.
No, yeah, or lemonade.
Yeah. Or lemonade. Okay. Favorite TV show?
Columbo.
Old school.
Very old
school. Love that. He took forever. Sometimes it takes an hour and a half.
No, that's just it, Shawn. He knew exactly who the murderer was from the get. He just made it look.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I meant by taking forever.
Oh, okay.
He knew exactly what was going on, but he was giving the person a chance.
My man was phenomenal.
Good. Yeah, very phenomenal. Good. Let's go to some extras really quickly. Favorite singer?
Oh, wow. I'm a big disco freak, so I'm going to go with Donna Summer.
Okay. All right. No problem.
But don't judge.
I'm not judging at all. Donna Summer, that's fantastic. Last dance, last chance for love.
I mean, 4 Seasons of Love. You just can't touch that. You may be too young for that.
Oh my God. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Your favorite vacation spot?
Oh. That's hard. That's really hard. I'm gonna say the country of Brazil. I'm not gonna say where, because I don't want everybody rolling up.
Yeah, that's fine. And there's already people there anyway, but that's
Yeah,
okay.
right. It's like my specific spot.
All right. Yeah, and your favorite song?
Ooh. I think this, you know, my favorite song, one of my favorite songs is by my favorite group, and I'm a big classic rock fan. I'm going to say it's by a group named Whitesnake. Yes.
Okay.
And the favorite song is it's called Slide It In. That's
Which runs us to our seventh one on our list. I won't even ask you about that song, but I'm going to ask you about, here's our seventh one, your favorite romantic position. I said romantic position because at least we're trying to still stay a PG show.
My favorite romantic position is sitting on the couch with a glass of wine watching TV. And that's as far as I'm going with that question.
And we'll take it. And Michelle, thank you so much, darling. You have been a wonderful guest, and I appreciate you coming on the show, talking to me and talking to my fan base about what's going on in your life and all around what you communicated. And you can watch the show and get more messages from just these messages that Michelle said and didn't say.
That's exactly right. You must be crazy. You know, I don't have my relatives watching this.
I know, exactly. But I really appreciate you coming. Thank you so much.
I appreciate you, Shawn. It's been great. It's been so much fun. You know, I look to have you back on the Global Advocate Career Podcast. We got to do this again.
We shall. We definitely have to. So thank you so much. And God bless you and your family. All right.
Same to you.
And as I always say in parting, please go with peace in your heart, and God bless you all. Take care of everyone. And if you're out there, put on your mask. Just believe what people say. Just wear your mask and keep us all safe. And as my mother and father look down and watch over and protect us all, let us do the same thing here. I'll catch you next After Dark with Shawn Cornelius. We'll have another fantastic guest on the show. And you guys just have a good one. Till next time.
All right, Shawn. Thanks for having me.